Kaugnay ng nakatakdang proklamasyon ng party list groups ngayong araw ay makakapanayam natin si Commission on Elections Spokesperson Director James Jimenez. Magandang umaga, sir. Yes, sir. Kamusta na po yung canvassing ng NBOC at tuloy na po ba ang proklamasyon ngayong araw?
Opo, magkakaroon po ng proklamasyon ngayong araw at hopefully matapos na natin ito, pasok tayo dun sa 10-day time frame na binigay ng chairman namin.
Yes, sir. This despite the disqualification cases ng 12 party list groups sa Supreme Court.
That's right. Kasi pag kapag meron namang pending na kaso sa Supreme Court, madali naman idagdag later on yon kapag it turns out that the case is actually decided in their favor. Remember, we're basing our proclamations on percentages of the number of votes cast for party list. So, kung maihabol sila na ma-approve sila ng Korte Suprema, ang mangyayari lamang, idadagdag lang natin yung total nila doon sa kabuuang boto, tataas din yung porsyento. So maipapasok naman din sila. Wala namang problema doon.
Bale, right now, sir, kapag po merong disqualification case, hindi pa siya kasama sa ipoproklama ng COMELEC?
Yes, kapag merong disqualification case, yung mismong bilang niya nakapending. Binilang lang natin yung votes garnered para lang for the record, pero hindi pa yan kasama doon sa talaan ng total votes cast for the party list system.
But is the COMELEC waiting for the Supreme Court's decision talaga, or talagang nakatakda na po yung number na ipoproclaim ng COMELEC?
Well, syempre we're always keeping an eye out for what the Supreme Court decides. Pero kasi ang ipoproclaim natin yung mga siguradong pasok na yung those party list groups that will only be getting additional seats essentially on top of what they already have, and then some of those who will not be knocked out of the list anymore. So again, like I said, we're always keeping an eye out for what the Supreme Court says.
I see. Well, sir, let's move on naman dun sa transmission. Tapos na po ba yung transmission ng lahat ng PCOS machines dun sa COMELEC Central Server?
Well, meron talagang mga ibang PCOS machines na hindi nakapag-transmit, no? At hindi na yan makakapag-transmit from the precinct level. But yung mga resulta, pasok na lahat, no? Lahat nasa servers na. And what I know from the transparency server particularly is that PPCRV is manually encoding those that were not electronically transmitted. I say electronically specifically kasi na-transmit naman siya. Binitbit lang yung CF card, no? Under our rules, that's part of our contingency measures, so that's an acceptable mode of transmission.
So when you said tapos na po yung transmission, that means 100% nasa COMELEC na po?
Yes.
Kasi last elections daw po, kulang yung transmit, or is this the same problem?
It's the same problem. When people say kulang yung transmission, it's always referring to the electronic transmission. But all of the results have been accounted for.
But sir, what went wrong? Bakit po ganon na mabagal yung transmission this year?
Well, right now we're still studying the problem. Apart from signal problems, we're still looking at the possibility that some of the corrupted CF cards may have been a factor in it. Certainly, it slowed us down because in some cases we've had to replace them. Like for instance, if we were supposed to transmit it today, because of CF card corruption, we had to wait until the day after, or even the day after that, because we were delivering replacement CF cards. So that's certainly a factor. Right now, we know the extent of the problem, but we have to really drill down to the details to find out what caused each instance of the problem. Again, like I said, some of them had to do with the inability of signals, despite assurances to the contrary, and some of them also had to do with the physical components of the machine.
But not the signal?
Well, in some cases, na-corrupt yung CF card, pero yung signal was good. So when the CF card was replaced, transmission proceeded well. So it's a mix of causes.
Yes, sir. There are reports that there are 18,499 PCOS machines that were defective. Is there truth to these reports?
As far as I know, the 18,000 referred to those that failed to transmit, which means that, again, for a variety of reasons, they were not able to electronically send the election returns. But this does not mean that the results are gone or in limbo. No? Even for these 18,000 machines, we had results coming in through other means of transmission, mainly yun na nga, yung physical transport of the CF cards.
Director Jimenez, merong mga reports din na meron daw pong mga CF cards na hinarang at sinira ng mga talonang politiko. Have you looked into this?
We're validating reports of that. No, every elections there's always some sort of accusation that some CF cards have been blocked or have been destroyed by politicians. In fact, in the 2010 elections, there was evidence that some politicians did have CF cards in their possession, illegally, I might add. And so for these elections, we're hearing the same sort of rumors, we're hearing the same sort of reports, and we've been validating them the past few days. So far, no results yet.
How soon can we expect the results of this investigation?
Probably within the week, no? Probably within the week. As our investigators are coming back, we're getting updates from them. It's very important that we lay this matter to rest because this is a very critical issue. Politicians should not have CF cards in their possession. Politicians should not be able to access CF cards.
Sir, balik lang po ako dun sa mga CF cards na defective. Meron po bang liability ang Smartmatic dito?
That has to be determined, no? Kailangan natin makita kung yung manufacture ng CF cards mismo was defective. Then certainly if it was, then there must be liability on the part of the provider, Smartmatic in this case.
And ano po yung posibleng liability nila, sir?
We have, as a matter of practice, a certain amount set aside from the contract. It's called the retention, and they can be levied penalties from that retention. It's a significant amount.
Okay, sir. Sir, nagsimula na po ba yung random manual audit?
Oo, nagsimula na at in fact marami na tayong natapos. Last week, Saturday, meron na tayong mga 154 results coming in from a little over 200 districts that we had to audit. So, pasok na sila. And so far, mukhang maganda naman na resulta. No? May isa o dalawa na nagkaroon ng konting duda dun sa resulta at dinadala na sa Maynila yon para ma-verify.
So 154 of the 200 means around 75% complete na?
Roughly. About 65% perhaps.
And kailan po ine-expect na matapos ito at ilabas ang resulta sa publiko?
Again, everything set to finish within this week.
I see. Well, sir, yun pong mga winning candidates na merong election violation, are they off the hook?
No, they're not. Kapag merong mga pending disqualification cases, those will remain pending. So, pag hindi maganda yung resulta para sa kanila doon, hahabulin sila even after na-proclaim na sila.
So, may posibilidad pa po na maalis?
Meron po.
Okay. Sir, let's move on to the issue naman of intelligence fund. Kasi po yung isa sa mga commissioners raised this issue, or former commissioners raised this issue. Is there irregularity in this?
I don't think so. I guess there would be an irregularity if the intelligence funds were given corresponding to the intelligence of the commissioner. Seriously speaking though, wala naman. Normally, agencies are given some sort of leeway, especially those with quasi-judicial functions, simply because during a quasi-judicial hearing, there is a need to employ investigators, there is a need to validate from external sources what's being said in the hearing. So intelligence funds are necessary. Also, remember, we're talking about elections. Elections are always the target of outside forces to subvert or to manipulate, and we have to have people on the ground who are capable of giving us independent information, or certainly independent verification of rumors that we get. So yung intelligence fund, that's part of the orderly administration of the whole system, no? And there's nothing about that.
Sir, kasi po ang tinatanong lang ni former Commissioner Gus Lagman, iba-iba po yung amount na ibinigay sa mga commissioners. Bakit po iba-iba?
Kasi hindi naman pare-pareho ang pangangailangan nila. Halimbawa, si Commissioner Lagman, he was there for a short while only, but he was given a significant amount, although I heard he returned it. No, I can't verify that. But certainly, since he was focused on other things, he was focused more on IT matters, I doubt that he would have had reason to investigate claims made by parties. And since kasama naman siya sa division, baka yung ibang division members ang gumagawa noon. So, hindi naman din kasi pare-pareho ang pangangailangan. And ultimately, ang nag-a-administer ng intelligence fund ay yung chairman. Bakit? Kasi
Okay.
yung chairman ang tumatayong chief executive officer ng COMELEC. So dahil siya ang chief executive officer, siya yung talagang abala dyan sa mga bagay na ganyan.
Well, right now, sir, can you say na nagamit po ba lahat ng intelligence funds? And paano po yung liquidation nito?
Ang liquidation niya ay merong paraan under government rules, no, na magli-liquidate ka through a certification. So that's part of the process. Hindi ko lang alam kung nagastos ba 'yon ng mga commissioners bilang, well, that's in the nature of intelligence funds. You know, you don't know what it's used for if you're not part of that loop.
Okay, maraming salamat po, Commission on Elections Spokesperson Director James Jimenez.